Hey guys, this is Karan and welcome back to my channel. It is such a pleasure creating fresh new videos for you guys, so it always helps if you like my videos and subscribe to my channel. A huge shout out to all my friends and members at Watch Enthusiast India, which is India's fastest growing and largest watch collectors platform online. You can join the group in the link in the description box below for all the informative and fun discussions and also updates about our events and deals. In 1889, the Desco Watch Kulthess company was already a big major trading name in the Swiss Jura Alps region. And after decades of successful operations, they decided to enter the watch manufacturing industry. In 1960, they purchased a watch assembly factory in the Swiss Alps, where for many decades they assembled and distributed high-quality watches for a lot of major watch brands. In the middle of the quartz crisis though, the founders of the parent company realized that the future was coming up fast and the need of the hour was to develop their own watch manufacture. And therefore, Maurice Lacroix was born in 1975. Their motto is "Success is a journey, not a destination." And their designs and products are surely guided by that chain of thought. The way they are targeting new generations of watch collectors and the way they are building their brand are exactly the way a watchmaking powerhouse should be setting things up for the future. Today I have a bunch of watches from the brand and I'm going to walk you through them to show you what Maurice Lacroix is all about. Let's talk about the brand's biggest blockbuster, their Mona Lisa, the watch called the Icon. I'll come to the obvious comparisons in due time because this watch deserves some careful in-depth analysis. This model measures 42mm across and is made out of 316L surgical grade stainless steel. The case has a three-part construction. You have a brushed finished mid-case with high polished edges and a bezel with multiple facets. The top side of the bezel has a vertical brushing matching the mid-case, broken beautifully and equally by 6 high polished bevels that provide a nice contrasting look. The bezel then flows down onto the mid-case through the polished angled sides. The last part of the case is a steel case back. When we come to the dial opening, we are met with a sapphire crystal with an anti-reflective coating on top. I wish they had some coating on the underside as well, because the crystal does throw off some reflections at certain angles. The blue dial though is magnificent. The uniform clou de Paris finish sets it off at every angle, and the high polished faceted hands provide good contrast and excellent time-telling legibility. The cardinal markers at 12, 3, 6 and 9 have double batons, while the rest of the hour markers are single batons, all of which are surrounded by a minute track. All the hour markers and hands have luminous material, but frankly this lume is quite weak and leaves a lot to be desired. There is a framed date window with a white date wheel on the 3 o'clock side. The brand's M logo is applied right under the 12 o'clock marker with the Maurice Lacroix brand name and automatic printed on the dial. On the 3 o'clock side we have a large but size proportionate screw down crown with enough machining and details to provide a secure grip and precise turns without any grittiness. The crown's top surface has the brand's logo embossed and finished in high polish. When we look at the case profile from the 9 o'clock side, we are surprised by the slimness of the whole watch. It has a thickness of only 10.8mm despite carrying a full automatic movement inside. Coming to the signature segment of the watch, the integrated bracelet, we see that the links flow down from the case quite beautifully, and the 5-link bracelet has a uniformly brushed finish on all links. Only the outward slanted edges of the links have a polished finish. This, in my opinion, makes the watch a little more wearable as a daily driver rather than being all flashy and blingy. The bracelet ends in a butterfly deployant clasp with half links on both sides to give you a better fit. The links can be sized via push pins, and there are enough removable links to give every owner a good fit. Turning the watch over, we see the quick release spring bars that can be used to remove and replace the bracelet with the extra rubber or leather strap that comes additionally in the set. These pins are a little sharp due to the size, but quite easy to manipulate, and removing the bracelet is quite convenient like this. Lastly, on the underside we see a steel case back held in place via screws, in the middle of which is a sapphire display case back through which we see the ML115 caliber, which is basically a Serita SW200 automatic movement. That name inspires confidence, and we know that the brand is backed by a good movement. This also means that the watch has a power reserve of 40 hours and is easily serviced should it face any problems. The movement, while quite industrial, has enough work done on it to be unique to the brand and the watch. Overall, the watch has a lug-to-lug distance of only 47mm, and this is how it wears on my 7.5-inch wrist. The Icon range is available in multiple dial colors and now also available in a unisex 39mm case size with a lug-to-lug length of only 44mm. Perfect opportunity to get a his and hers set of watches and enjoy the hobby with your better half. People may call this the budget Royal Oak, the entry-level Audemars Piguet, the poor man's offshore, but there is a hard-hitting grain of truth to this brilliant move by Maurice Lacroix. All comparisons aside, an integrated steel bracelet sports watch with enough design cues to stand out at 1/10 the retail price of an Audemars Piguet Royal Oak, I think this is an absolute winner. Now, let's talk about some really cool collaborations between Maurice Lacroix and India's very own Mahindra Racing. Mahindra Racing is a founding team and the only Indian team to compete in the Formula E World Championship, which is the world's first all-electric street racing series. Maurice Lacroix has made 3 different Icon watches to commemorate this sporty and unique partnership: an Icon 44 automatic chronograph, an Icon 44mm quartz chronograph, and an Icon 40mm tied quartz watch. Each watch is definitely Icon, yet distinct in its own way. For example, the 2 chronographs are both large-faced at 44mm across, yet very compact because of a lug-to-lug distance of only 48mm. Both have a white tapestry dial pattern broken up by blue and red sub-registers for the chronograph functions and vivid red central chronograph seconds hands. The automatic chronograph is 15mm thick and comes on a supple yet sturdy leather strap, while the quartz chronograph is 11mm thick and comes on a soft and comfortable multicolored rubber strap. This is how the automatic chronograph 44mm Mahindra Racing Icon Edition wears on my wrist. Then comes the best of the Icon range, their effort at marine and ocean safety. These watches are made out of reclaimed and recycled ocean plastic waste. This allows the introduction of a range of vivid, bright and fun colors to the otherwise conventional steel and utilitarian designs. Right from the dial to the hands to the case, bezel and the case back, everything is made out of recycled materials. This also makes the watch ultra light and easy to wear on the weekends. This Icon tied watch measures only 40mm across and 44mm lug to lug. Rather than go in depth into the Icon design features that I've already covered in the previous section, I would rather tell you what I like best about these 3 Mahindra Racing Icon watches. I loved how chunky the automatic chronograph wears, and especially how compact it ends up being on the wrist because of the amazing leather strap. The one bit I didn't much care for are the screw-down chronograph pushers, which are hexagonal in profile and resemble the pushers on an AP Royal Oak a lot. In fact, I absolutely love the pushers and crown guard system on the slimmer quartz version, which make the watch a very unique looking piece. Had this pusher design been implemented on the automatic chronograph, it would be an instant purchase for me. Now this is how the quartz chronograph 44mm Mahindra Racing Icon Edition wears on my wrist. Lastly, I practically do not want to give this Icon tied special edition watch back because it is such a fun watch to wear. I really like the pop of blue seconds hand, the red hands and the markers, and the pattern dial. The soft and comfy rubber strap is also a notable feature of the range. This special edition comes with an additional red rubber strap with the ubiquitous quick strap changing system. Now this is how the Mahindra Racing Icon tied special edition looks on my wrist. The Mahindra Racing Icon editions are a much needed breath of fresh life in the uniform design aesthetic of the Icon range in the Maurice Lacroix stable. The red accents, the colorful subdials, those so comfortable rubber and leather straps, these are what make these editions truly special. Now let's talk about something different from Maurice Lacroix. Wait, different? Didn't we all think the Icon was what they were doing differently? Now let me rephrase that. Let's talk about something traditional from Maurice Lacroix. This is the Pontos dated bronze. The Pontos line from Maurice Lacroix is what the brand used to focus on before they bet all their chips on the Icon range. And frankly, this is something they should be doing more of because this is the gateway into their true horological prowess. I will explain this in a bit. The Pontos dated bronze is 41mm across and made out of aluminium bronze, which after a few months in the store display has taken up this vivid patina. Bronze, as you know, is an alloy of aluminium and copper, and as such, its outer layer gets oxidized when it comes in contact with the oxygen in the air. This is the formation of patina, which is this layer of discoloration on top. Turns out, watch nerds like us are crazy over this process and love to see how their bronze watches develop their unique appearance over time. Powered by a simple Sellita SW300 movement, the main draw of this watch is the beautiful sunburst green dial. Taking on various shades at different angles, it is a treat to observe. The 12 o'clock side has a window for the day along with the printed brand name, whereas the date window is on the 6 o'clock side. The dial has a minute track cut out in the middle rather than at the periphery. The hands and markers are PVD coated in rose gold, and as such, the combination of rose gold over the green dial is quite royal in effect. As with the multifaceted dial with its windows and layers, the bronze case also has multiple facets, bevels and steps all around, especially on the lugs, which look a lot like the lugs on the Patek Philippe Calatrava. The bronze watch is complemented by an alligator pattern calf leather strap in brown color, ending at a bronze deployment clasp, which also has developed a patina. Lastly, the screw-down crown has a turbine-like knurling that affords a good grip and stays true to the marine theme of the bronze watch. Now this is how the Pontos Day Date bronze looks on my wrist. It's the Pontos Day Date, the Pontos Chronograph, and the Pontos Divers that were the actual breakthrough watches for Maurice Lacroix for so many years. The new divers they released barely a few weeks ago are the actual things that I'm truly interested in this year. And as such, the Pontos line is a more traditional range of watches that the brand offers. Now this brings me to a final word about the Maurice Lacroix brand. Today we see a brand heavily focusing on off-the-shelf movements and inspired designs so as to play a solid and strong game in the entry-level segment. But deep down, they are masters of innovation and have patented over 12 unique calibers and movement designs over the last 30 years. From skeletonized chronographs to retrograde calendars, from mysterious seconds to crazy collapsing hands. They have done some really cool stuff in the past, and these watches are rare, hard to make, and available only on special order at times. I think it's a truly phenomenal watchmaking house, and we need to give it a lot more attention in the coming few years. A heartfelt thanks to Maurice Lacroix and Ethos Watches for sending these watches over for review. Maurice Lacroix watches are available with Ethos Watches, India's largest chain of luxury watch retailers. You can always reach out to me on Instagram or WhatsApp DMs for a fine deal on these watches or just to talk watches. Thank you for watching.